In this video, I'm gonna share with you how to completely eliminate complacency in less than 5 minutes. Yes, in less than 5 minutes. The first thing that we have to understand is why someone is complacent in the first place. See, as human beings, we are actually wired to be very driven, to not be complacent, to not settle for less. You know, if you think about kids when they're 5, 6 years old and they have career day in their class, they're all driven and excited and pumped up about what they could be in their life. But unfortunately, over time, they've experienced lots of failure, lots of rejection. And so naturally, they want to be in a comfortable place where they become complacent. The one thing to really understand as a leader is that being complacent, especially for a long period of time, is extremely uncomfortable, and it eats away at people. So your role as a leader is to pull out that drive, that ambition that was once there, that's literally still there inside of them, help them find it, and then continue to stay in action to achieve it. Nobody wants to be complacent, right? Even if you're making good money and you're being able to pay your bills, that might be okay for a short period of time, but long time, I'm telling you, people do not want that. They'll blame it on, oh, well, this person doesn't have enough pain in their life to be able to push themselves forward, right? But that's all that is it's an excuse. The true problem is very simple, and that's belief. They've lost belief in themselves. And you may say, well, I have someone on my team who's complacent and they're very successful. It doesn't matter. They've lost belief. Deep down, they've lost belief in themselves. They've had enough failures in their life, enough rejections. They're tired of dealing with what people think about them. They don't know how to handle it. They've lost belief. So your role as a leader is to help them what? Is to help them believe in themselves. It's that simple. I don't care if they're 70 years old, 40 years old, 20 years old. Your role is to consistently and constantly keep them focused on what's most important, what we call the next play, and to keep them believing in themselves, right? If you watch my last YouTube video, I shared how to keep someone focused every single day, and that's whether they're focused on their past or they're focused on their future. When they do this, their past failures, right? Past failures, past rejections, or future failures, or oh my God, what if I'm successful and I don't know how to handle it? What happens is you create really bad habits, right? And so one of the habits is belief and not believing in themselves. That is literally a bad habit. So it's our job to keep them focused on the play in front of them and also help them believe, right? I don't care if they're making 7 figures, $500,000 a year. There's a reason they're complacent, and I promise you, it's not because they don't have enough pain in their life to move forward. It's because of belief. It's because of belief. So real quick, the most important thing, right? How do we get someone unstuck and not complacent into action in less than 5 minutes? And there's 3 things that we're gonna hit on here, okay? We call it the win formula. How do you take someone from a loss, right? From stuck, from not wanting to make a change into making a change. And what we call it is, how do we get them to win? How do we get them to win in the shortest period of time? And the first one is you've got to know what they want, right? So if someone's complacent, they've forgotten what they truly want. Or they know what they want, but again, they don't truly believe that they can have it, right? So the first thing is you've got to figure out what they want, right? The second thing is you've got to know why they don't have it. What's holding them back from actually getting what they want? What's stopping them, right? And typically this is going to be bad mental habits, and it's going to be being okay with being in a state of suffering. Because you got to know this as a leader. If somebody's complacent, they're in a state of suffering, right? There's either I'm going after what I want, right? And I'm driven and I'm pumped and I'm excited every day and I wake up and I'm passionate. Or, right, you're in a state of suffering. Man, I wish this marker was better. We'll have to invest in better markers. Or you're in a state of suffering. And so your team members, if they're complacent, I promise you they're suffering. There's inside of them, they're suffering because they know deep down that they're not truly getting what they want. And as human beings, right, we're wired to do what? Again, think kids, driven, pumped, motivated, but we've had enough bad experiences in our life, and then we'd be okay with suffering. So what is it that they want? What's the issue? What's holding them back? And then of course, you've got to help them determine their next play, right? And the next play is so important because it keeps them focused, not on the past, not on the future, not on all these things going on, their last rejections and how they didn't get to achieve what they want, right? It keeps them focused on what do I need to do today to move forward to get this? What do I need to do today to move forward to get this, right? And I'm not gonna go into the next play. I have plenty of other videos that explain the what, the how, and the when, and how to determine the next play. But for this video's sake, what do they want? What's stopping them? And what's the next play? Now, Richie, you're saying to me, I can do this, right, in 5 minutes, right? There's 2 versions of this. There might be your first few versions of this might be more long form, right? This might be a 45 minutes, an hour conversation, right? Maybe it's at a happy hour, I don't know. Sometimes you can get deeper with people on this and they realize, oh my God, like that is what I truly want. Making 300K a year, or I've seen complacent sales reps making $1 million a year and they're like, I'm not nearly where I could be, right? So what is it that they want? Gotta help them find that. Number 2, what's stopping them? And then their next play. Now, how do you do this in 5 minutes? Let's say you're sitting there and you're in the office and you're working with one of your reps and they're stuck, right? And you can just tell immediately, boom, something happened. They had a bad meeting, they had a bad call, they lost a big sale, and you could just tell that they're just stuck. You're watching them or you're meeting with them on a Zoom and you could just tell, right? And when this happens, you walk them through this same formula. How do we get them to a quick win in 5 minutes? Okay, you're stuck, you're frustrated. What do you want? What are you trying to do? You trying to close a sale? Are you trying to set a meeting? Are you trying to, what is it that you're trying to do? Figure that out, right? What's the issue? Why weren't you able to set the meeting? Why did you get rejected? Okay, let's come up with why. And then very simple, what's the next play? Next time when that comes up, what are you gonna do? Okay, cool, go, right? The next play is what, how, when, go. Right? I don't wanna spend the time on this video, but very simple, 5 minutes conversation. What are you trying to do? What's stopping you from getting that? What happened? What did they say? What didn't you say? You know? And then, okay, cool. What can you focus on right now to move forward? That's your next play. What, how, when, go. What, how, when, go. It's that simple, right? So this is how you can get someone unstuck in 5 minutes, and ultimately how you can literally change someone's life as a leader and get them from complacent to driven, to excited, to passionate, to living a life with purpose. And that's the role and the ability that you actually have as a leader. Like, that's the power. It's not just to increase sales, it's the ability to transform the people's lives on your team every single day. Every single day. My name is Richie Contrettesi with Next Play. There is no failure, there's only the next play. Thank you so much for being on this video. Subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.